Hey y'all, Kayla here from Wild Camo. If you've ever felt like you're just one step behind those big early season bucks, well, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to expose their patterns. If you like this type of content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel because I post new videos almost every day. Also, don't forget to swing by my website. I've got countless hours of education and audiobooks on all things hunting. Now let's get into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get real about what the early season is all about. Then we'll dive into the 4 key spots bucks are right now and exactly when you need to be hunting them. After that, I'll give you a 5-step action plan, and we'll wrap up with the 5 big mistakes you absolutely have to avoid. All right, so let's get right down to it. The early season is a completely different animal, and here's why. Right now, those big bucks are still on their lazy, super predictable summer patterns. But you gotta believe me, that little window of opportunity, it's slammed shut way faster than you think. So what's the biggest mistake most hunters make? It's underestimating just how fast these deer get smart. Look, we all get fired up for the rut, I get it. But your absolute best chance at a calm, patternable, mature buck, well, it's happening right now, before all that hunting pressure kicks in. 3 days, that's it. Some really smart folks at Auburn University did the research, and it takes just 3 days for a buck to completely change his pattern after you hunt a spot just one time. This proves what the old-timers have always said. Your first sit is your best sit. Your biggest advantage is that these deer haven't been messed with for months. They're relaxed. But the second you step foot in there, that clock starts ticking. So if pressure is the big bad enemy, how do we strike first? Well, it all starts with knowing exactly where they're spending their time. So let's pinpoint the 4 key locations mature bucks are using right this minute before the rut turns their whole world upside down. I want you to think of these 4 spots as magnets: soft mast, ag fields, water, and those super important transition zones. In the early season, these are the places that are going to pull a mature buck out into the open while you can still see him. Let's break down each one. First up, soft mast. Y'all, this is pure deer candy. When persimmons, apples, or pears start hitting the ground, a big buck will often walk right on past a giant soybean field just to get to that sweet stuff. If you can find the trees that are dropping fruit right now, you have found an absolute gold mine. But hey, don't go ignoring the greens. Especially if the acorns haven't started dropping yet, bucks are still hitting those protein-rich places like green soybeans or freshly mowed alfalfa. Think of these fields as their main dinner table, before the appetizers like acorns and persimmons are served. Location number 3 is water. And please do not underestimate this, especially on a warm early fall afternoon. A buck will often get up for a quick drink before he heads out to feed. A little hidden pond, a small creek, really any water source near his bedding area can be the magnet that gets him on his date during legal light. And this 4th spot, it's a real game changer. The transition zone, or what some people call a staging area. This is where the big, cautious bucks like to hang out. Instead of stepping right out into an open field, they'll just linger in this thicker cover, maybe 50 yards off the edge, just waiting for it to get dark. If you set up here, instead of right on the field, you can catch him on his feet when you can still legally shoot. Okay, so now we know where to find him, but when is the absolute best time to be in the stand? Let's get through all the myths and look at what the science actually says about it. So let's be real, y'all. We've all heard it. You gotta hunt the right moon phase, wait for a big cold front. But years and years of GPS collar data, all compiled by the National Deer Association, it shows the moon has almost no effect. And yeah, a cold front feels great to us sitting in the stand, but the data shows bucks are on their feet moving no matter what the temperature is. So what's the simple truth? Backed by like 500,000 GPS locations from collared deer. They move most at dawn and dusk. That's it. Deer are crepuscular, which is just a fancy word for animals that are most active at sunrise and sunset. So forget all the noise. The science says be in your stand for the first and last hour of light. End of story. All right, now let's put all this together into a practical plan you can actually go use this week to cash in on these patterns. So here it is, your 5-step game plan. This is basically your roadmap from scouting all the way to the shot. And you'll notice there's one thing in common with all of it: stealth. From using binoculars from far away to planning your walk in and out so you don't spook deer. Every single step is designed to protect that all-important first set advantage. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Avoiding these 5 mistakes is just as important as everything else we've covered, because one wrong move can undo all your hard work in a heartbeat. Mistake number 1, pressuring his bedroom. A buck's bedding area, that's his sanctuary. If you go stomping in there, especially this time of year, you can push him right out of the area for good, or at the very least, make him go completely nocturnal. Just stay out. Second, and this one is huge, playing the wind. Y'all, this is non-negotiable. If the wind isn't absolutely perfect for that stand, just don't hunt it. Go somewhere else or stay home. A mature buck's nose is his greatest defense, and trust me, he will not give you a pass. Third, you have got to stop over-hunting your best spots. You might get away with hunting a stand once, maybe twice, but that's it. Remember that 3-day rule we talked about? The pressure adds up fast. Your best spot is only your best spot if the deer doesn't know you're there. You have to protect it. Number 4 is a tough one for a lot of us. Checking trail cameras too much. I know it's so tempting, but every single time you walk in there, you're leaving send and you're risking bumping a deer. Unless you're running cell cams, check them midday, maybe once a week, max. And finally, stop waiting for the perfect day. We've seen the data. They're going to move at dawn and dusk no matter the weather. The perfect conditions you're waiting for might never even come, and that buck you're after might get pressured by somebody else in the meantime. The time to hunt is now. So let's bring it all home. Your strongest season, it starts right now. So there you have it. The early season isn't just a warm-up. It's a golden opportunity to tag a mature buck while he's still on a predictable pattern. The bucks are following their plan. You have your plan. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. Thanks for watching, y'all. Now get out there, hunt smart, and make that first sit count.